I'm Batman.
Hello and welcome to podcast number 5? 5. Podcast number 5 of 60 Second Game. We record these out of order, so I'm getting a bit confused with the numbering. Number 5, because between 4 and 6. This is Batman Arkham Asylum. I am Simon Pryor. Joining me as ever are Rich Hatton. Say something.
Something.
Say hello.
Oh.
In a
something.
deep, booming voice.
Something.
That will do. And Mr. Ant Tremaine.
Alright.
He's gone a bit brummy.
Aww.
Now, this is Batman Arkham Asylum, possibly one of the surprise hit games of last year.
The best superhero game in the world.
Yeah, it's one of the best licensed games as well, I think.
Yeah.
Right, let me get...
I always had a nasty feeling it was going to turn out like Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Because
It's
it was like,
actually...
you're using the Joker, you've got Batman, you've got and it's actually nothing like it.
Yeah, it's
It's
actually quite a good game.
Mm.
But I'm not actually going to play the game very properly because I can't play games and talk at the same
No,
time.
we learnt that from the Pixel Junk one.
Yeah, that didn't really work, did
Like,
it? So
do you want to finish your sentence, bro?
I'm gonna lurk up here for a bit on one of these pillars. So yeah, Batman, very good game. Again, a surprise hit, and it's one that I've completed, which surprised me because I'm not usually very good at completing video games, but I'm getting better. And so yeah, it's very good. You're basically you're in Arkham Asylum. It's a self-contained story. You're on the island. The Joker has taken over the asylum, and over the course of one night, you as Batman and nobody else, which is good as well. But technically speaking, you're only Batman. But you've got to play the game to find out a bit more about that. You play inverted takedown time. And there we go. Let's escape.
Well, you get invertedly take down him as well.
There we go. And now watch as they get nervous.
Right?
More
I
as
forgot
do
you
that.
could chop them down. I used to just leave mine lurking.
Yeah,
As a constant reminder I've been there.
I vary it, and the fear element is very good.
You've knocked someone else out as well.
So I have.
Somehow.
That was interesting.
Yes.
Never done that before.
Down to 2.
Yeah, and so it's basically over the course of one night, and Batman gradually gets more and more worn down, and his suit gets ripped, and he gets a 5 o'clock shadow as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Very good.
And
so nice little attentions to detail.
yes, and it's a very nicely designed game. The graphics look nice. It uses the Unreal Engine, which looks quite pretty. They've also used that in TNA as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
Which works to a lesser effect.
Oh.
So it's on the Unreal Engine, and the levels are nicely varied. I mean, you do a lot of backtracking over the course of the story, but it doesn't feel as laborious as Dead Space did.
That's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
I like Dead Space.
Dead Space was good, but I mean, you're just like, okay, go here, now you're coming back this way, and then you're going over there, and then you're coming back, but I mean, it made sense.
But you've got to decapitate people by
Yes,
merely
yeah.
stamping on them.
Yeah, but I enjoyed Dead Space, don't get me wrong. I think sometimes when you're constantly going backwards and forwards, it does wear you down. I'm not a popular person in the room at the moment, but I like Dead Space. Leave me alone.
Okay, no, fine.
I do like it. I'm not ripping into it for the sake of it.
The value of
That's
it.
the only real major flaw I could find with Dead Space.
We're not reviewing Dead Space.
I know. I'm just
But
saying.
anyway, back to Batman.
We could do, but we're not going to.
We'll do it another day.
One
But
thing I
yeah,
quite liked about it was that another of other reviewers picked up on it is that the graphics, when you're not in the investigation mode or whatever it's called, I've forgotten what it's called now.
detective
That's
mode.
the one, thank you.
Yes.
That's the ticket. It's the graphics are somewhat comparison to Bioshock, if you think about it, like the way the light reflects off stuff.
Yeah, well, it's very grim and dark anyway, which you'd sort of expect from a Batman game.
Well, yeah. I'd be a bit worried if it was all pretty flowers and whatnot.
Yeah, the story is written by a guy who did the comics, and I think he comics of the animated series. I forget which. I should have done my research.
I think they're doing an Anson's now.
Yeah, and basically He's like a writer in the series. The voice cast as well are all from the animated series, which is brilliant.
Which I remember watching when I was
Yeah, it's nice to hear Mark Hamill back as the Joker. Whilst Heath Ledger did do a very good representation of the Joker, Mark Hamill does a very good animated Joker.
Yeah.
And there are various sort of gameplay elements to this, including the aforementioned detective mode, which basically you press the L2 button and basically it's like an infrared type thing, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which lets you see where enemies are and where like safe points are that you can jump to with the R1 button.
Pretty much
like
gives you information of your surroundings.
Yeah, and it plays an integral part of the game as well. There's some bits where you've got to like at the very start of the game, you've got to follow an alcohol sample from one of the guards, and it also comes in handy for when. Grand takedown.
Oh!
And
Punched
there we go.
in the face.
Yes.
And now escape.
Oh, you've been cocked.
Yeah. All you've got to do is swing around a couple of times.
And you're done.
I've actually stopped pressing the button now. There we go. Right, where's he gone? So he should be terrified now.
Yes, and he'll be shooting at anything. And there was one thing that always made me laugh, is that the hot air pipes are really stable until the point where the guards are terrified. Then they go off left, right and centre.
Yeah.
Scare the living daylights out of them. Which is always funny to watch. Ooh.
In the face.
I thought for a minute you were going to punch him in the air.
And I'll just
The
delete back up
jungles.
here. So yeah, I've covered the story. I've covered that.
Could talk about the.
Someone
I like
else
the
pick
fact
up.
that they, I like the fact that you've got the character. You know, there's slow references to Batman villains, but the characters aren't shoehorned in.
Yeah,
Just for the
that's
sake
nice
of,
bit. Because
having the characters in there.
actual villains, I mean, who are there? We've got obviously the Joker.
Yeah, the Riddler makes an audio.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Riddler
it's-
sort of is a background thing for
Yeah.
the bonus,
Side
with
mission.
the side content with his riddles.
Killer Croc. is
Killer
in there,
Croc is in it quite
which his level was a bit.
prominently.
A bit
It
was quite good, actually.
It was all right, but
Yeah.
it wasn't
yeah,
brilliant.
it wasn't
No.
the best
fight.
of
The
levels.
fight was a bit daft.
Yeah,
But,
but
Bane's in it.
Scarecrow as well.
Oh yeah,
So-
Scarecrow.
Yeah,
His
the
levels
Scarecrow
were
levels
very,
were very
good.
yeah,
They do something of a Metal Gear Solid, but you'll have to find
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, it's
Play a bit further.
it's a bit of side-scrolling type.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, was I mean
area.
Metal Gear Solid, they do like a pretend death
Yeah.
sequence type thing.
Well, I was just referencing the gameplay. The gameplay
Yeah.
and the Scarecrow sections of the game are different to this in that
You have to hide from
you have to
him.
hide.
He becomes incarnated in this enormous form.
Yeah,
He turns
and
into
it's-
the Jolly Green Giant on you and just
Yeah,
there's
and
a
it's-
light coming out of his eyes which you have to stay out of, otherwise he kills you. Which
Yes.
I found quite funny because the once he spotted me mid jump, and Batman stopped and stood there in mid air and just waited his death instead of
But,
carrying on the animation. But never mind.
Yeah, and
Small
so
flaw.
that bit's quite good. And Poison Ivy's in it as well.
Yes, wearing next to nothing.
That was the level
Together.
that irritated me towards the end, where you actually had the boss battle with her when she's
Oh,
in the
that
pub.
boss battle was stupid. I didn't like that.
That was the only one that really caused me any
Mm.
sort of massive grief.
Killer Croc and Killer Croc, all right. Poison
Yeah.
Ivy's just. Oh.
Yeah. And you've also got the assorted array of goons and bad guys,
Oh, yes.
the general henchmen.
They're a lot of fun to take.
Uh,
And also because you have to hide in gargoyles.
Yes.
Which Prara is doing an awful lot of at the minute.
Yeah, well, I
Um,
can't talk and play at the same time.
But toward further on in the game, the gargoyles they're kind of like a lazy option, aren't they? Really?
Yeah.
They get booby trapped.
Yeah, they have explosives. put them, which
They
gives you
do
about
they do
2 seconds.
the game
to get
does
off,
stop you from
Yeah,
using them later
and
on.
forcing you to take a more ground stealthy
Yeah, more
approach.
proactive
Yeah.
approach. But I mean, the game does quite nicely mix elements of stealth and
Mm.
platform sort of like
Beat the
fighting.
living hell out of
This is Brutal Legend sort of attempted this sort of gameplay mishmash
people.
and didn't quite come out on top of it. Whereas Batman, it's nice variation to the game itself, I think. And
Downloadable content's quite good. As
yes,
It's
there's
all free, which
Yes.
so far, there's a
Yeah.
couple of free challenge room packs.
well. I don't know if they've got any more stuff.
There's
to
only been
release.
2 so far, I think.
Yeah, well, no, there's
but,
the Joker's map pack as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
is
the
this-
PlayStation version, you do get to play the
As the
challenge
Joker.
rooms as the Joker,
Yeah.
which is a nice touch.
Nice little
Yeah.
exclusive.
He's not very good, but he just goes swanny around.
He's got some good combo moves. The gas and everything. Actually, does this game have any online multiplayer? Is it just
no?
This is one of those rare games that doesn't actually have a multiplayer component, because these days especially they seem to think, oh, the game's not worth releasing unless it's got some form of multiplayer,
which isn't true.
Sometimes it's usually like a shallow version of the main game, and it sort of suffers as a result.
Which is why I'm kind of sceptical about Bioshock 2 with their online multiplayer.
Yeah.
Ruin a perfectly decent single player game by shoehorning in a potentially flawed and not well worked multiplayer.
Yeah, it doesn't really work.
But I should reserve judgment until it comes out anyway.
Yes.
Is he
not far off now?
No.
Next month. That's another one I wouldn't mind playing as well. It's Heavy Rain comes out next month as well. Should be quite good.
Yeah, there's one thing that is well worthy of mention is the one-button combat system.
Yes, which works ridiculously well. Which
well,
most
two
games...
buttons.
Well, yeah,
is it two?
Because you press triangle to counter.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
But
most still,
of it is just
it's
the one.
really sort of pretty much like one button at a time.
Yeah.
The occasional use of R2 and triangle for takedowns and that sort of thing. I'm going to refer back to my notes actually. Because I had some other stuff that I wanted to talk about that was in the main review, and I haven't gone there. So story, yep. Challenge rooms, yep, we've done that. Fear, which I've utilised already. Basically, if you've got a room full of goons and you take them down one by one, then the others get gradually more concerned, shall we say.
Which is a lot of fun.
What I also will say about this is the fact that there is no one set way of approaching these rooms. Yes, you can stealth around in the shadows.
It gives you multiple options, doesn't it?
Or you can just go in there all fists blazing.
Yeah, which doesn't always work.
No, especially when they've got
armed.
guns.
Yeah.
But
although sometimes they start off without guns and they'll get those bloody ammunition cabinets and go, oh, he's got a gun.
Yeah.
Which they tended to do an awful lot in the last boss as well, which was a bit cheap.
But referring back to the thing with the villains, with it doesn't feel as though they're shoehorned in. If you go into the morgue, there is a corpse in there with the name tag on the toe of Ra's al Ghul, and you go in, you see that, you come out, and you go back in, and the body's gone.
Yes.
But that's one of the Joker's riddles as well, isn't it? To scan that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's like a little reference. So we could be seeing some Ra's al Ghul in the sequel.
Oh. It won't
You
be
never
played
know.
by Liam Neeson, though.
No.
Must be a shame.
No. Liam Neeson, legend.
Liam Neeson, who was in the A-Team film.
Yes.
Is he?
Yeah.
He is. He's Hannibal Smith. He loves it when a plan comes together.
Oh, does he? I bet he does.
But yeah, as I mentioned in the review, this is a licensed video game, and for once, it doesn't suck.
No, it works.
Which
Unlike
makes
a
a change.
lot of Batman games, which...
Well, it's not just Batman, just any sort of licensed video game, that sort of thing. It's like, well...
Transformers Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Pretty terrible game.
Gadgets as well.
Beg your pardon?
Gadgets.
Oh,
Gadgets.
no, put your gadgets away.
Yeah, there's an array of gadgets. Let's have a look. No,
His gadget. I'll say.
I've gone into the wrong menu. There we go.
Oh.
So there's loads of Wayne tech. So you can upgrade things like the combos, like the throws and attacks you can do.
Yeah.
So you can unlock them as you go. There's several
New
of them.
gadgets as well.
New moves like inverted takedown, armor upgrades, and so on. And there's a series of them, and upgrades to the batarang. So like power, you can have remote control batarangs,
which does next to nothing.
Yeah, I've never used that one. Twin batarangs,
which is quite fun. You can get triple.
Yeah, that's that one there.
Oh, yeah.
The remote control batarang, that's handy at some points in the game because you've got to actually direct it to a certain point.
It's not used as much as I would have thought it would have.
And there's things like the grapple hook and other elements such as that, which
triple grapple down here.
Yes, which come in handy later on for like ripping down walls, finding hidden areas. Again, mostly not essential for most of the game, but it comes into play a couple of times as part of the story. And then beyond that, you just use them for unlocking various extras and finding Riddler trophies and stuff like that. I think that's about it. Anything you'd like to add?
Just look forward to the sequel.
Yes.
Don't ruin it.
I was going to say that. I was thinking all the way through. I was like, I'll mention the sequel. Oh,
Yeah. I mean, the sequel does look as though it's going to take us away from Arkham Island, so it might open it up a little bit. Which could go either way. It could end up like being one big sandbox title where you sort of end up going across all of Gotham, and the story takes you all over the place.
Hopefully,
or it could be something on the same scale as this, and not too.
I'd like it to be a sort of almost like Fallout side missions.
Yeah.
The main mission, but no particular order in which you can do them, and you can just go wandering around.
That'd be a good way of doing it.
Perhaps not all of Gotham, but at least 90% of it available for you to just wander around.
They've also just announced a Game of the Year edition of this as well.
Oh, what?
Which obviously it should include the free downloadable content they've already provided, and they haven't really made any announcements, but I'd imagine if they are going to do a Game of the Year, they'll probably include something extra on top of that.
It will most likely be just the downloadable content, because when I bought the Game of the Year edition of the first Modern Warfare, all I got...
Oh, you got the bonus downloadable content, but you have to pay for that normally anyway.
Yeah, well, you just got a redeem code, that was it.
Yeah.
The rest of the game was just exactly the same as what it should be.
But yeah, it's nice little game is Batman Arkham Asylum. One you can complete in... I don't know, 10 hours-ish?
It's quite a big game.
Yeah, it's
especially if you want to do all the Riddler challenges.
I mean, you can do all of them after you finish the main story anyway.
I'm one of those people who likes to get the story out of the way and then go back and do everything else I've missed, which I'm a bit worried about Brutal Legend, whether I can or cannot do that. Because it keeps reminding me I've got side missions to do. Like, can I not come back and do
I'm amazed this guy can't see me because I'm hanging right above his head.
Yeah, but you're Batman though.
Yeah,
you
but I'm perched like a bat.
Look, exactly. You don't tend to spot bats until they fly in your face.
There you go, it's coming out!
Oh God!
Which is probably the sort of thing Batman was trying to achieve with his look.
Probably, and he probably did very well as well.
In a word,
I'd
probably
put
yes.
myself if I saw him coming towards me, like the clappers, I'd probably run away.
You'd certainly run if he came at you with the clap.
Oh, yes. Yes. Batman infested. That's a new sequel.
Batman infected.
Yeah. Got the clap.
That'd be
Got a little too jiggy with that.
and on that bombshell, I think it might be an idea to bring the podcast to an end.
Well, the tone gets lowered any
so again, as I always say, thank you for listening if you have been. This has been 60-Second Gamer. Batman Arkham Asylum. So yes, we scored this 9 out of 10. Well worthy of it. It's just a shame that Assassin's Creed couldn't quite modify their combat system to match this, but I think it works in its own little way.
I think this is kind of a league of its own.
Yes, but it's very nice. I mean, a lot of people did complain actually initially about the fact that the combat was like one button, and then they played it and it was like, oh, actually, yeah, that does work. But there we are. So yes,
people.
Batman Arkham Asylum. Buy it.